Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Premiere Next. In this video you are going to get all the information related to the latest review updates of the series called Gyeongseong Creature Part 2. 2 weeks have passed since Part 1 was released on December 22nd. The second installment of Gyeongseong Creature debuted today, following the gripping first 7 episodes that held viewers' attention. The past 3 episodes have now revealed a lot of stunning turns, unexpected surprises, and an emotional roller coaster. Gyeongseong Creature Part 2 story. The plot of Part 2 of the show follows Jang Tae-sang and Yoon Chyo-k as they struggle to survive long enough to see Joseon set free. Part 2 of the novel changes the focus to the top powers manipulating events in and around Gyeongseong Hospital, the story's central location, while Part 1 of the story dealt with the corruption, hatred, brutality, and gore that innocent Koreans had to endure. Tae-sang remains in the hospital at the end of Part 1 in an attempt to put an end to the horrifying and brutal experiments being conducted on people. It comes to light that Tae-sang chose to spare these individuals due to his humanity rather than the fact that they were Joseon natives. Now, in Part 2, he receives assistance from the most unlikely source, who enables him to flee that terrible location. Following Tae-sang and Chyo-k's happy reunion, the story swiftly returns to its gory nature, with several of the main characters dying. Having excavated a tomb for herself, Chyo-k finds herself back in the hospital. At all costs, Tae-sang's new goal is to save her. Lady Maeda's feelings for Tae-sang become a barrier, just when his plan is almost complete and set to be carried out. What kind of gets him through is the vow that Tae-sang and Chyo-k made to each other about seeing a free Joseon together. However, as you can see, the monster saga is far from over because Mi-young-ya, who initiated everything, is pregnant and her child may grow up to be a monster. Review updates of Gyeongseong Creature Part 2. Having excavated a tomb for herself, Chyo-k finds herself back in the hospital. At all costs, Tae-sang's new goal is to save her. Lady Maeda's feelings for Tae-sang become a barrier, just when his plan is almost complete and set to be carried out. What kind of gets him through is the vow that Tae-sang and Chyo-k made to each other about seeing a free Joseon together. However, as you can see, the monster saga is far from over because Mi-young-ya, who initiated everything, is pregnant and her child may grow up to be a monster. In contrast to his performance in Part 1, Park Seo-joon's persona has evolved. His persona used to seem like a helpless bystander to all the wrongdoings. But now we see that he has been imbued with a feeling of patriotism. His moral character and compassion for others are evident. His portrayal of emotion has improved. His faith in the least reliable person helps you to comprehend his motivations and state of desperation. However, Han So-hee has continued the story and given these occurrences significance. Her character's suffering gave the impression that So-hee was going through it herself. Speaking of these two, you can see how much their relationship has changed by comparing the dynamics in both sections. They've experienced enough to know that love exists, from disbelieving in it to unconditionally adoring one another, and this time, they don't hold back in expressing their emotions. It speaks for itself that they are willing to forfeit their own lives in order for the other to live, doesn't it? Regarding relationships, I don't believe I have ever had empathy for a horrible person. You feel like a knife is cutting through your heart because of how it grieves and hurts. One of the most original ways to illustrate the depth of a mother's love is presented in this show. I would have preferred to see more of Kwon Jun-taek played by Wisconsin Ha-jun. It appeared from the way his character was portrayed in Part 1 that he would play a major part in Part 2. That was a little disappointing, then. Another disappointment was the under-characterization of Hyun Bong-sik's Ichiro and Choi Young-jun's Lieutenant General Goto, who both performed admirably in Part 1 but not so well in Part 2. Their goal, their tale, just seemed so unfinished. And of course, Claudia Kim's Lady Maeda, our protagonist for Part 2, was the greatest. She has fulfilled her responsibility if there are times when you despise her and are just angry with her. She seems to have been destined for this part. She gives off the impression of being a strong woman who knows her value and radiates dominance. She has done a fantastic job of capturing the complex emotions of her character, making it clear to the audience what she is experiencing and thinking. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates related to upcoming movies and series.